Hello, and welcome to LSET Tech Bite. Today, we're going to delve into the fascinating world of Morse code and learn how to build a simple Morse code translator using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. By the end of this video, you'll have a functional translator that can convert both text to Morse code and vice versa. Let's dive in. First, let's take a look at the HTML structure of our translator. As you can see, we have a basic HTML document with the necessary elements. At the top, we have our usual doc-type HTML declaration, followed by the opening HTML tag with the language attribute set to English. Next, we have the viewport meta tag. This ensures that our web page is properly scaled on different devices, providing a better user experience. Then we set the title of our page to Morse Code Translator using title tag. Now let's move on to the body section of our HTML. Inside the body tag, we have the main content of our page. We start with an H1 heading which says Morse Code Translator. This clearly indicates the purpose of our web application. Next, we have a div element with the class container. This div wraps around all the content within our translator. Inside this container, we have a paragraph element to display the translation output. The translation will appear dynamically within the span element with the ID output. Below that, we have a label for our input area, prompting users to enter text or Morse code. This is followed by a text area element with the ID input, where users can input their text. Finally, we have a translate button wrapped inside a div with the class button container. This button will trigger the translation process when clicked. We link our CSS style sheet using the link tag. This file, named style.css, contains the styling rules to make our translator visually appealing. We'll be using JavaScript to handle the logic behind the translation process. Now that we've covered the HTML structure of our Morse code translator, it's time to dive into the CSS styling to make our translator visually appealing. Let's start by taking a closer look at the CSS code that brings our translator to life. The first section of our CSS code sets some global styles using the universal selector. We're resetting the margin, padding, and defining the box sizing to ensure consistent sizing and spacing across elements. We then specify a default font family of Arial, Helvetica, Sans Serif for our entire document. Next, we move on to styling the body of our web page. We set the background color of the body to a soothing shade of teal using the hexadecimal color code. Now let's focus on styling the container that holds our translator. We give the container a light green background color with the hexadecimal color code. It's sized to 430 pixel wide, has 20 pixel of padding, and rounded corners with a 10 pixel border radius. We position it 50 pixel from the top and center it horizontally using margin 50 pixel auto. Additionally, we apply a subtle box shadow to give it a floating effect. Moving on, let's style the heading of our translator. We center, align the heading text, set its color to a dark shade of gray, and give it a 50 pixel top margin to provide some breathing space. Now let's style the labels for our input area. We set the labels to display as blocks with a bold font weight, a 10 pixel vertical margin, and a subtle gray color. Moving on to the text input area. We disable resizing, apply a 1 pixel solid border with a light gray color, give it a 5 px border radius, 20 pixel of padding, make it 100% wide, and set the font size to 16 pixel for optimal readability. Now, let's style the button container and the translate button. We display the button container as a flexbox, justify its content to the center, give the button a full width, set its background color to teal, text color to white, remove the border, provide padding, set font size, apply a 50 pixel border radius for a rounded appearance, remove the outline, add margin, set the cursor to pointer for interactivity, and apply a smooth transition effect on hover. Lastly, let's style the paragraph and span elements for translation output. We make the paragraph bold with a dark gray color and set its font size. Inside the paragraph, we style the span element with a lighter font weight and slightly larger font size. Now that we've designed the layout and styled our Morse code translator, it's time to add the functionality using JavaScript. Let's break down the JavaScript code that will power our translator. At the beginning of our script, we have a dictionary called Morse code. This dictionary maps characters to their respective Morse code equivalents. For example, a maps to dot dash, b maps to dash dot 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 dot, and so on. We've also included Morse representations for numbers and some special characters. To enable translation from Morse code back to text, we create a reverse Morse code dictionary by swapping the keys and values of the Morse code dictionary. Next, we set up event listeners to handle translation when the user clicks the Translate button. When the button is clicked, the script retrieves the input text from the text area and converts it to uppercase for consistency. If the input field is empty, we display a message saying no input provided in the output field. Now, here's where the magic happens. If the input text contains dots which signify Morse code, and the script splits the input into Morse code words and then into Morse code characters, for each Morse code character, it looks up the corresponding English character in the reverse Morse code dictionary and appends it to the translated word. Finally, it joins the translated words together and displays the result in the output field. On the other hand, if the input text doesn't contain dots, it splits the input into English words, then into English characters. For each English character, it looks up the corresponding Morse code in the Morse code dictionary and appends it to the translated word. Finally, it joins the translated words together and displays the result in the output field. And there you have it. With the JavaScript functionality in place, our Morse code translator is now complete. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.